And it allows builders to build, and it allows farmers to farm. You know what I've done for farmers? Where if you had a little puddle in the middle of your field, you go to jail if you touch it, right? You know what I'm talking about. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. And it allows bankers to lend. It allows bankers to lend again. So many people came up to me and they said, we had a 20-year relationship with a bank. We never had a default. We never had a bad loan. Now we go back to the bank and they say, we can't do business with you anymore because they don't qualify, even though they're better than the people that do qualify. It's incredible. But we're back to the strong days of our banks. And not the days of trouble. Pre that, we're back to the strong, where bankers can make loans and community bankers can make great loans to good people. You saw what happened recently where the certain agency or bureau that was causing so much trouble to lenders where they could not lend. They just couldn't lend. It was devastating. They were going out of business. Well, we're taking care of that. We've already taken care of a big part of it. And yesterday you saw we won the lawsuit. So that's going to be taken care of automatically. Got to get back to business. Our focus is on helping the folks who work in the mailrooms and the machine shops of America, the plumbers, the carpenters, the cops, the teachers, the truck drivers, the pipe fitters, the people that like me best. Actually, the rich people actually don't like me, which is sort of interesting, and that's fine. You know what? I like that trade. But really, the people that like me best are those people, the workers. They're the people I understand the best. Those are the people I grew up with. Those are the people I worked on construction sites with. All of the people who give their best each and every day to take care of their family and the country that they love. These are incredible people. They came out to vote for me. They came out to vote for us. People that worked hard, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, that hadn't voted in many years because they never had anybody they wanted to vote for. And they came out, I'll never forget, in Tennessee, a great congressman told me that early voting, said, I'll tell you what, we just went through 4 days of early voting. At that time, it was Mr. Trump. Now they say Mr. President. But it was Mr. Trump. He said, and if the other parts of the country are like what's happening in Tennessee, people are coming from all over Tennessee. They haven't voted in years, and now they've got Trump shirts, and they've got Trump hats, and they've got Trump pence, and they've got everything Trump and Trump Pence. And he said, I've never seen anything like it, and I've been a politician for a lot of years. And if it's anything like Tennessee, you're going to have one hell of a victory. It turned out to be a lot like Tennessee. So, and it turned out to be a lot like Missouri. That I can tell you. Because we had a big one here. And I promised Josh that when he gets it going, and he's got it in very good shape from what I hear. He's a pop. Everybody said, Josh, it's got to be Josh. Everyone's telling me. I said, who's going to run against her? Josh, Josh. And I said, Josh, when you're ready, you have my word. I'm going to come here and campaign with you. We got to get you in, okay? Got to get you in. It's not enough for the middle class to keep getting by. We want them to start getting way ahead. We're going to have them start getting way ahead. Under our plan, middle-class families will not only see their tax bill go down, they will see their incomes go up by an average of around $4,000. And that's because we're going to cut taxes on American businesses so they will compete for workers. They'll raise salaries, the business is going to be happy, and the workers are going to be happy, and the country is going to be a happy place. Although, we're going to have very strong borders. Please remember that, okay? Please remember. We're going to have the wall. Don't worry about it. We're going to have the wall. We don't forget that wall. A lot of people say now that he got elected, is he going to build the wall? The answer is absolutely. More so. I think more so. It's not easy dealing with the Democrats. They want to have people pour into our country, illegals. They don't care where the hell they come from. They want to have them pour into our country. They want to raise your taxes. They don't want to take care of your military. And all they're good at, frankly, is obstructing. They want to obstruct. But you know what? They may obstruct, but we have gotten through all of the obstruction so far. We'll keep it going, believe me. Today, America has one of the least competitive tax rates on planet Earth. 60%, think of that. 60% higher than the average in the developed world. So our taxes are 60% higher. On my recent trip to Asia, every single one of the countries I visited, even those with communist governments, have slashed its corporate tax rates and slashed them dramatically. And it's very tough competition anyway. But when their taxes are a lot lower, it really makes it very tough. And that trip was a tremendous success. You know, we bought back $250 billion in contracts, and that's going to be over $1 trillion very soon. That's a good week and a half's work. Boeing came back with contracts. So many of our companies came back, and I'm very proud of them, and we're doing great. But at the same time, we're going to fix trade, because trade's unfair. We're getting killed on trade, so we're going to fix our trade, unless anybody would like to continue with this horrible situation that we have. Our plan gets America from the back of the pack, and it'll bring us right to number one, where we were for years, but where we haven't been for decades. We're going to be right back at number one. And we're going to work on trade, but we're also going to work on military. When we defend nations that are very wealthy, and we do it for almost nothing, I say, why are we defending them? We love them. I won't mention names, but there are a lot of them. We love them. They're wealthy. One of them has a cash flow that they say is unsustainable. It's so large. Think of that. How would you like to have an unsustainable cash flow? They don't know what to do with their money. And we defend them. It's going to change, folks. We're going to defend them. But they're going to treat us fairly. And they're going to pay for their defense. Does that make sense? And a lot of this was from many, many years ago when we defended a defeated country, and then they became strong and they became rich, and we just kept the same defense. What happened? Why didn't anybody go in and negotiate? And when I was in Asia, I spoke to a couple of the countries about it, and they looked like this. You know what this is? Mm-hmm. That means they know they're getting away with murder, and they got to start helping us out, okay? So if you don't mind, I'll start bringing that up with some of our good friends. We're going to cut our tax rate to the very competitive number of 20%, as I said, and we're going to create jobs, and factories will be pouring into this country, and they already are starting. A lot of people think it's going to happen. I don't want to say anything. I'm not going to talk about it. I thought we had health care, and we will have health care. It's going to happen. As soon as we get the taxes, we work on the health care, we're going to happen. Because we thought we had the votes, and then something happened a little strange. That's okay. When you lose by one vote, then it's called you go back. You know, some people said, oh, you failed with health care. What do you mean we failed? We didn't fail. And by the way, what happened is Obama took a long time, years, to get Obamacare, right? Again, 10 months. We've had 2 runs at it. We're coming closer, closer. I think now we have a plan that's going to be great. But we're not talking about it until after taxes. And then we take care of health care. Then we will have done tax cuts, the biggest in history, health care, phenomenal health care. I know you don't want this. Welfare reform. Does anybody want welfare reform? And infrastructure. But welfare reform, I see it, and I've talked to people. I know people, they work 3 jobs, and they live next to somebody who doesn't work at all. And the person who's not working at all and has no intention of working at all is making more money and doing better than the person that's working his and her ass off. And it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. So we're going to go into welfare reform, unless Billy doesn't want it. Billy, am I okay in saying that I speak for you? He said yes. You got a lot of friends out there, Billy. Well, we'll also cut taxes for the millions of small businesses that file as individuals, and that's going to come out of the hopper. It's getting there, and it's going to be better and better. We're reducing the tax burden on businesses of all sizes and of every single kind. As a candidate, I pledge to fight for American jobs. I think it's possibly the #1 reason I got elected. And I think we've done a lot better at this point than anybody ever even thought possible. Think of that, 2 million jobs since the election. 2 million more jobs in this country since the election. Nobody expected that. Excuse me, I didn't even expect that. But, you know, you cut those regulations and you give people spirit and incentive. And when you have the highest ratings in terms of confidence that the country's had in many, many years, maybe ever, things happen. The tax cut will mean more companies moving to America, staying in America, and hiring American workers right here. So that's so important, right? Small business groups across our nation, retailers, restaurants, manufacturers, grocers, contractors, support this plan. We have tremendous support for this plan. Tremendous. Because these massive tax cuts will be rocket fuel. Little rocket man. Rocket fuel for the American economy. He is a sick puppy. Cassandra Pourlaire. Where is she? Where's Cassandra? She's around here. Hello, Cassandra. I met you back there. She and her mother, Terry. Hi, Terry. They own a jewelry store on Main Street right here in St. Charles. They make really beautiful handmade jewelry. I got to see some of it. I would have taken it in my previous life, but now if I do, they don't like that, you know? We're not allowed to take jewelry, right? But they make it right here in the heartland. It's beautiful. Our tax plan will ensure that Cassandra can keep growing her business, keep creating jobs, keep giving back to the community that she loves, and just make her more and more successful. I assume you like that, right? Good. Randy Schilling is also here. Where's Randy? Randy. Hello, Randy. He's the founder of OPO. That's an interesting name. It's called OPO Startups, and a member to dozens of small businesses in the St. Charles area. He's a mentor. He really mentors a lot of the businesses, and he's respected. He also did a terrific job renovating the old post office on Main Street, something I know something about, old post offices. Did he do a good job, by the way? I hear. They said yes, Randy. If he did a bad job, I'm going to stop right now and just say, good luck, Randy. They said you did a good job. I know you did. Randy knows firsthand how the high tax burden is holding America's small businesses back, and our tax cut plan will unleash them to thrive like never before. He understands our plan, which will provide relief from the horrible, crushing, unfair estate tax, also known to many as the death tax. We want to make it easier for loving families to pass on their life's work to their children. Be nice. Be very nice, right? That's a tough one. The Democrats fight that one, I think, harder than any other thing that we're doing. They fight the death tax. They don't want it. They don't like it. They don't want it. It's one of those things. But that is one of the hardest things. I have to be honest. I see people right here. They're obviously very rich and they love their children, right, in this group? They love their children. They're very rich. They want to pass on what they have without having to have the kids sell the property, mortgage up half of it. And but the biggest problem we have on that one, these Democrats are being brutal. And, you know, I call them obstructionists, but they want to stop the estate tax. They want to stop the death tax from, you know, being rescinded. But we're going to try our best on that one. Our economy will receive another enormous boost as trillions of dollars in wealth that's parked overseas will be able to come back to our country. Now, this is one that's interesting because for years, Republicans and Democrats agreed. You have Apple and you have these great companies having billions and billions of dollars overseas. Now, who doesn't want the money to come back? But to show you the lack of leadership that this country had in the past, the Republicans want it and the Democrats want it, and nothing ever happened. You could have passed that one easy. In fact, we're just throwing it into this bill. I could have had a separate bill on that one, I think. Don't you agree, fellas? I could have had a separate bill on that one and gotten it passed in record time. But I figured I'd put it here because it is actually popular. But it used to be $2.5 trillion. You know what that is? Trillion. Money you can't bring back in. It's prohibitive, both in complexity and in the amount of tax you have to pay. So nobody brings back in. $2.5 trillion. But $2.5 trillion I've been saying for 6 years. I think now it's $4 to $5 trillion. All that money is coming back into the United States, and it's going to be invested in our country instead of sitting and helping others. We want our own help. Right? Territorial. If we want America to thrive in the 21st century, then we must stop running from the competition. And instead, we must start totally winning and winning and winning again. Remember when I used to say, we're going to win so much? We're going to win that the people of Missouri are going to go to your governor and they're going to say, Governor, please go see the president. We can't stand winning so much. Remember, I used to say that, right? I used to say it, and that's what's happening. That's what's happening. And then the governor's going to come to that beautiful historic Oval Office. He's going to say to me, Mr. President, the people of Missouri cannot stand all this winning. They don't want to win so much. They love the old way, where they had lousy job numbers, lousy economic numbers, lousy. They loved it. Please, Mr. President, please not. And I'll say, Governor, I don't care what they say in Missouri. We're going to keep winning and winning and winning and winning. Remember?